So nearly since the beginning of starting this channel, I've talked to you guys about the importance of becoming and how to become an independent language learner. But what does that mean exactly? I mean, does that involve dismissing your teachers and tutors or anyone who could potentially help you as irrelevant and just kind of locking yourself in your room with your textbook, determined to do it entirely on your own? Well, opinions may vary, but in this video, I want to give you my personal definition of an independent language learner so that you have realistic expectations of what it's actually going to take from you to learn a language successfully. Comencemos, amigos. What's up, language leaders? Welcome back to another video. Or if you're new here, welcome just the same. My name is Erica. I'm a former Spanish interpreter and translator turned language teacher and coach, and my mission is to help you love, learn, and live the Spanish language. Although in today's video, really you can take the advice that I'm going to give you and run with it for any language that you may happen to be learning. But if you are learning Spanish, then you have just found your second home, so hit that subscribe button and that bell and let's get started. So in order to understand this concept better of the independent language learner, why don't we take a moment to think about what a dependent language learner would look like, the complete opposite of what we want. So a dependent language learner relies entirely on their teacher to transmit the language to them. Now, these are often good students. They often get excellent grades. They do everything that is expected of them, but they find themselves disappointed when they cannot communicate in the real world when they're released into it. And what I often see from this type of learner is that they go back and sign up for more classes thinking, well, something is missing because I'm not at the level that I want to be, so I obviously need more classes. And really without that direct instruction, they don't have any idea of what to do to learn the language on their own. But the independent language learner takes a very different approach and sees his or her teachers or tutors or coaches in a different light. And he or she may think, well, in the same way that glasses don't replace your eyes, but they can help you see things more clearly. And in the same way that a cane doesn't replace your legs, but it can give you the support that you need to walk if you're having a problem with your legs. And in the same way that a map does not replace the highway, you still need the highway to get where you're going, but the map will help you navigate it and even point out obstacles along the way. Well, in that way, my teachers, my tutors, my coaches are there to clarify, to support, to guide me, to point out things that I may not have noticed on my own. But they are not my primary sources of new knowledge. No one can actually teach me a language except myself. No one can actually implant into my brain all of the experiences and the nuances and the variables of language that that person has acquired through experience. I have to take that responsibility myself. I have to expose myself to enough language and create enough opportunities to practice it myself in order to get to where I want to go. Now, it used to be that one of the easiest ways to do that, well, not really the easiest, but the one that made the most sense for a lot of people was to move abroad in order to completely immerse themselves in the language. But fortunately, today that's no longer necessary. The internet has opened up so many ways that we can expose ourselves to the language. We can read, we can listen, we can connect with other human beings, even if they're not directly teaching us, or even if they are, but we can connect to other people and practice our language, even live vicariously through the lives of others with stories. That's why I'm such a big fan of learning language through stories, because even though we can't reverse our life and live all of our life experiences again in another language, and we may not even desire to do that, we can do that through story, which is a wonderful way to learn. So are teachers and tutors and support people of all kind irrelevant? No, absolutely not. But the best ones don't only focus on the mechanics of the language. Rather, they pay just as much attention to your emotions and your lifestyle and your habits and your expectations. And they honestly equip you to leave the nest at some point. That's always been my primary goal. Now, the one thing that traditional learning classroom environment does give us is a plan. And as the saying goes, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So I know that if you're transitioning from that idea of direct instruction only to this idea of a more independent type of learning, and hopefully you understand what that means now, then it can be really scary to try to figure out a plan on your own, especially if you've never done it before. It's hard to know where to start and what you need to focus on. So I want to help you. In my Framework to Fluency Masterclass, I want to give you that first set of tools, so to speak. I want you to leave that class knowing exactly where you're getting stuck and what is lacking or what you need to do in order to start to come into your own style and eventually fly on your own. You can register for free for my Framework to Fluency Masterclass at the link below. Language leaders, that is all for today, but until next time, don't forget to go out and live your new language today. Hopefully you now know exactly what that means. Bye-bye.